Hey guys, it's Lori, jumping back on here again. Had a really nice lady write in asking me about juicing for her and her husband. So instead of just responding through an email, I thought, you know what, I will just make a video and other people may benefit from what I'm getting ready to tell her. So here is what she wrote. She says, my husband and I are thinking about juicing. This is Pat, she's out of California. He is 78 and I'm 74. Can you give us some pointers? How to start, how many times a day do we need to juice, etc. We both still work full time, so that is a factor also. And she says they both have high blood pressure and cholesterol and some arthritis. So first of all, the fact that they both work full time is pretty cool because at 78 and 74, that is phenomenal. So I would say basically they're probably pretty healthy people. But with juicing, I would recommend you start once a day. People that have really real health challenges and stuff like that, I've recommended a 7-day juice fast to help them detox, to help bring their body back into balance. But in general, I juice once a day and I recommend juicing once a day. Also recommend getting a good quality juicer. Don't just go out and get a Walmart special. Depending on the type of juicer you get, there's like centrifugal and there's other types. They have different ways that they extract the juice, and not all juicers extract the juice in a way that the juice has as much flavor and as many nutrients. So to me, if you're going to be taking the time to juice and get the health benefits, you might as well spend the money to get a decent juicer. The juicer that I have, and I've had since I think 2014, is a Breville. It's BR, let's see which way do I want to go. And you can go to Breville.com. Before I had a Breville juicer, I had a Champion juicer, which was a really good quality juicer, but it didn't juice greens very well. And it had a narrow chute, so I could only do like 1 carrot at a time. So it was time consuming. With the Breville, you have a much wider chute. And so you can juice, 3 or 4 carrots, a whole apple, whatever. So you're able to feed stuff in really quickly. It goes really quickly. It's also an easy juicer to clean, which is a big deal because you're gonna be cleaning it, in between uses. So the best juicer to use is an easy one, in my opinion, and one that, makes your life easy, because juicing is an extra step in your day, but I have to say it is so incredibly worth it. So because you're getting the nutrients from so many fruits and vegetables at once that you would just not be able to eat. I'm drinking some juice right now. This is kind of a complicated juice. It's got beet, organic beets, the beet greens, organic carrot. Let's see, cucumber. It's got about 1/4 of a cucumber, stalk of celery, half an apple, 1/4 of a lemon. So this is a really, this is kind of like a cocktail. But last night I just juiced carrots and celery because I worked yesterday. I didn't want to take the extra time to do the extra veggies. The other thing is preparation. If you want to be buying organic, because otherwise you're getting a pesticide cocktail. But with the organic vegetables, you don't have to wash them and grate the carrots and all that kind of stuff. I do wash my beets just because sometimes they can have sand on them. But as far as my carrots, I literally put them out of the bag into the juicer. Same with the apples. I do organic lemon. You can leave the peel on. I've used even whole lemons, believe it or not, are really good. They're just, organic lemons are pretty expensive, so I kind of quarter them or have them, however you want to do it. But they're a really great way to alkalinize your body, and they're super high in vitamin C. And who's going to sit around and eat a lemon? But in a veggie, a fruit vegetable juice, they're phenomenal. What else? You want to drink your juice on an empty stomach. That's the way the nutrients are going to be best absorbed when there's nothing else in your stomach that's going to inhibit the absorption. So time of day, when my kids were under roof, we did it first thing in the morning. And that's what they drank. That was their breakfast. It's really pretty rich. I think you'll be surprised at how much a vegetable juice will fill you up. But like I'm drinking this late at night, right? I had a kind of a weird day today, and I didn't eat lunch until after 4. So this is my supper. And then when I get done with this, I'm going to have a piece of homemade apple pie, vegan. I made a vegan crust and some coconut milk ice cream homemade. So, but this is my dinner. Din for me is this juice. You can also juice before dinner, like while you're cooking dinner or whatever. It's a great appetizer that kind of fills you up, and then when dinner's ready, you end up not eating as much. And then because you have so many nutrients, it overall, because you're really feeding your body what it needs, you're gonna find you're not as hungry, and it's gonna help with the cravings. It may take a week or two for those effects, if you will, side effects to kick in, but it'll happen. So much of what's wrong with America and our obesity issue has to do with eating foods that are so lacking in nutrients that your body is literally constantly hungry, but it presents in sweet cravings, salty cravings, or whatever like that. And once you begin to put the nutrients into your body, the cravings just kind of magically disappear. It's very, very cool. So, hey Lindsay, how are you? So I know it's late, but I just wanted to answer this lady's question. As far as the high blood pressure and cholesterol, the more you reduce your animal products in your diet and increase the plant products, whole grains, the juices, fruits and vegetables, those things can correct themselves on their own. And especially if there's a weight issue, getting your weight to your ideal weight within 10, 15, 20 pounds of your ideal weight can tremendously help with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, that kind of thing. You moved to Florida. Yeah, didn't you move to the Jacksonville area? Am I remembering that correctly? So, yeah, it's nice and warm here. Hadn't it been beautiful the last several days? It was actually kind of a cold winter for us. I know compared to others, I have nothing to complain about, but it was, it's really nice now. So, I don't know if anybody else has any questions about juicing. I just think it is, and I'm working on my diagram. I got a whiteboard, and I'm just going to draw a picture. I'm in the process of drawing a graph so that you guys can see how nutrient dense the foods are that you're eating. Because people are so deceived in thinking that they're eating foods that are healthy or not that bad. And it's just shocking to find out that most of the stuff you're eating, even that, is advertised on TV, and meat and dairy, and I'm not knocking meat and dairy, but from a nutrient dense standpoint, it has protein, but that's not the same thing as phytochemicals, phytonutrients, micronutrients, antioxidants, and the things that really are the building blocks of what your immune system needs to fight off viruses and bacteria and whatever else, God forbid, that they decide to unleash on us, okay? We got all these little scientists now in these bio 4-level safety labs or whatever, the mad scientist, and whatever. So, and it really comes down to just eating the way God intended us to eat. Oh, you're at St. John's. Yeah, nice area. Juicer, hey Ron, Juicer versus blender shake maker. Yeah, it's a juicer. People do smoothies, but with smoothies you need like a base, like almond milk or fruit juice or something like that. Smoothies are not as nutrient dense as juicing, because what juicing does is it actually extracts the pulp. Not all of the pulp though. People have this thing like, oh no, you're extracting all of the pulp. Isn't that where the nutrition is? Well, what the pulp does is it's what makes the vegetables, like, who's going to sit around and eat, this is half a beet, but it's a big beet, you know, a handful of greens, a handful of spinach, 4 carrots, half an apple. I mean, to try to eat all of that is just, it's the pulp that makes the chewing and everything so time consuming. Even just sitting down and eating a salad is very time consuming, you know? Okay, awesome, Lorena. That is awesome. And but anyway, back to the pulp. So the juicer extracts a lot of the pulp, but not all of it by any stretch of the imagination, because when people start juicing, digestive issues hugely clear up, okay? Like, big time. And even people that are on prescription drugs that constipation is a side effect, like, you're juicing, no longer a problem, okay? It's amazing. So there's still a ton of fiber in the juice, but enough is removed. Because the juice is actually, I mean, you can't really tell, but it's thick, it's viscous, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I drink it out of a straw because otherwise it just like gets all over my mouth. That's my way of doing it. But it's still got a ton of fiber. So I recommend juicing over the whole smoothie thing. As if you're going to do something that you're really looking to get nutrient dense foods into your body and boost your immune system. So another thing I was thinking about doing, guys, is starting a group because of people that are juicing and even just wanting to improve their health overall, you know? And that way we can share what's going on with us and the health improvements that you're seeing, because that to me is what's so exciting, is the testimonials. Even the people that I've started on juicing, you know, I've been preaching this about 3 weeks now, or maybe a month, I don't even know. And the people that have started have seen really awesome health improvements. So that's how I know. I mean, it works. I've been juicing since 96. What's a good juicer? I was just saying, Rebecca, I have a Breville juicer. Let's see, I've got this back. That's the juicer that I have. I love it. This is the second juicer I've ever owned. It has a wide mouth so that it's like I can do like 4 carrots at a time. Because when I bought this juicer, I was juicing for me and my 2 kids. And so we were doing it in the morning, like going out the door when I was trying to go to work or whatever. I was homeschooling too, but on the days I worked. So I had to go, you know, and then I needed something that I could clean up really quickly, because I always clean my juicer right after I use it. But I recommend the Breville. Now, Target has juicers. I don't know. There's Breville.com. There's a lot of really good juicers out there. I would not get a Walmart special. I wouldn't get anything under $100. I think the Breville now is going for like $179. I mean, you don't need the super high end, okay? I think it was $149 when I got it back in 2014. They're now going, I think they start at $179. But it's a good juicer. It's fast. The texture of the juice is amazing. It's very nutrient dense, and it's easy to clean. So, hope that helps. It's one of those things, you don't want to get one and then you don't like it, and then it takes, you know, because some of them, like cleaning them, can be, they've got little pieces, and it's just, what's the best juicer? The one you're going to use, right? Okay. So that's the one I've loved. I had a Champion juicer before this. It worked great, but it didn't do greens nearly as well. And so it also took a lot longer to juice. So anyway, do you eat meat? I do not. I am vegan. I say I'm about 98% vegan because I do eat eggs. I eat free-range eggs, organic eggs. I don't eat a lot of eggs, maybe a couple of eggs a month. Right now I have access. I have somebody that's bringing me eggs from homegrown chickens, and my dogs eat eggs. So I say I'm 98% vegan. Every once in a while I eat fish. But animal flesh, I really don't. I used to, and I just feel so much better as a vegan. And it's also for me, it's not that I don't like the taste of meat, but I like the way I feel without the meat. Once you get used to not having that heaviness, you really don't realize how much your body works to digest that stuff until you don't have it for a while. And then you try to eat it and you're like, oh my gosh, oh. So that's just my preference. But here's the thing. I'm not trying to get everybody on a vegan wagon. If that's what you feel like is right for you, I think that's great. What I want people to do is, in order to boost their immune system, begin to understand what you've got to put in your body that really feeds your cells, that God created, that grows out of the ground, that has nutrients that nothing else on the planet has. Fats they're not nutrient dense. I'm sorry, meat just isn't. True meat eaters, true carnivores, eat their meat raw. It's like my dogs, I don't have them on a raw diet now. They cook chicken and pork and stuff like that mixed with brown rice and veggies. But at one point I put them on a raw diet, and they can eat raw chicken, they can eat raw pork, they can eat raw eggs, they can eat raw liver. I mean, that's a true carnivore. We don't have the stomach acid. Our pH, as acidic as we are, we're not acidic enough to be able to eat raw meat. It'd kill us, okay? The bacteria in it will kill us. So humans have to cook their meat. Well, right there, you're killing a lot of the nutrients that are in meat that animals that are true carnivores get, right? This is why juicing is so beneficial, because you're consuming the organic veggies and fruits raw. And that's what your body really needs. Even cooking vegetables, I'm not against cooking vegetables, but it dings the nutritional value. Makes sense? You got a bunch of organic veggies yesterday to juice. What kind of juicer do you have, Lisa? So anyway, it's because I'm not 100% all the time eating juice. Or drinking juice rather. But like later I'm getting ready to have apple pie. My philosophy is, don't give up the foods you love. Factor in foods that are super healthy like this, and make healthy versions of the foods you love. That's the way I've done it. So I've never felt like I've sacrificed anything by moving to a plant-based whole grain diet, because I still eat biscuits, I still eat pasta, I eat stuff I love. And if I did love meat, if that was something that I really wanted to be part of my diet, then I would probably eat one serving, not a lot, because it is taxing on your body. I'd probably eat one serving a day, but I would also make sure that I was getting plenty of fruits and vegetables. And the easiest way to do that is by juicing. So that's my 2 cents worth. Free range organic meat is the only way to go if you're a meat eater. Yes, and buying from a farmer. That's another thing that we don't do enough of, guys. We go to the grocery store. These animals that are cut up in the grocery store, and I even struggle with buying meat for my dogs, but because of the cruelty. And I'm sorry, but the Bible says that a righteous man is kind to his animals. And I gotta think that God has a problem with how the animals are so horribly treated. I mean, I can't believe that that's the heart of God for our animals, And so my thing is, if you are a meat eater, consider buying from a farmer, and getting a freezer and having, Bessie the cow that was raised and lived a good life until it was her day, and then she gets killed humanely, or he, or whatever, it is. That to me is a much better option than just going to the grocery store and picking up the steak or the chicken or the whatever. I've got 2 small dogs, so they get a lot of eggs, but I do mix in a little meat for them because they just, they love their meat. They're dogs. But I really even struggle with that from a humanitarian standpoint, because I know that the chickens and whatever, but the grocery stores that I have around here, we don't really have free range stuff, and that'd be pretty high ticket. I love my dogs, but I don't know. That's my breaking point, I guess. You have celiac disease. Well, why don't we have a phone call and let's talk about that, and I can talk to you about maybe some things you can do to help. But anyway, guys, well, this has gone really well. I didn't really expect hardly anybody to jump on at 11:15. What is this, a Monday night? But if you have any questions, please email me. It's thewisepharmacist@gmail.com. And again, I just want to teach people how to build their immune systems so that they're not living in fear, and that they realize that there is an alternative to prescription drugs and to being injected with stuff, for lack of a better term. You're welcome, Lisa. Hey, all right. Add fruit to my diet every day. Bananas, oranges, blueberries. That's great. And berries are super high in antioxidants, so that's really good. Thanks, Alexi. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I would go into your group on learning to make good vegan foods and boosting your immune system. That would be a great thing for me to add to the group, is making good vegan foods and posting recipes. Another thing I do is I follow these vegan blogs. I tell you guys, it is so easy this day and age to be healthy. Vegan blogs I make these killer brownies, dude, that are 100% vegan. I mean, they are the best brownies I've ever had, and they just happen to be vegan. Like, you could serve them anywhere. Nobody would know they weren't good for you. And I use organic sugar and that kind of thing. You have a group? I don't yet, but I'm gonna start one. I think I've been feeling that that's what I need to do. And then people that are interested in warrior wellness and really taking the high road and learning to take care of their bodies. Because the amazing thing is, if you start taking care of your body, your need for prescription drugs just kind of starts to fall off. Like, literally, I've seen people reverse high blood pressure, reverse type 2 diabetes, and it's like they start getting healthier first, and then they have to really start monitoring their blood pressure, monitoring their blood sugar, because their bodies are responding to them eating the right kind of foods. Their bodies begin to heal themselves. And if they're not monitoring the blood sugar, monitoring the blood pressure, they can end up like in a scary situation, because the blood pressure is dropping on its own, and yet they're still taking the pills. So you have to be careful with that. But it's so exciting, on the other hand, to see just if you give the body what it needs, its ability to heal itself is phenomenal. It's miraculous. It's literally miraculous, and that's the way God designed it. A recipe for what, William? So actually, to this lady, Pat, I'm just going to say, as far as what you're going to start with juicing, I would just start with carrots, celery, and apples. You know, start really simple and build from there. That's what I started with. And my kids really, they, like if I'd have tried to give them beet juice, I don't think that was happening. Nah. They were strictly carrot. They loved carrot, but they weren't real big on me adding greens or trying to vary the recipe. So I like it now because I can play around and do whatever I want to do because they're no longer living at home. Anyway, thought I was doing well to go to Smoothie King until I read their menu and saw how much sugar and calories are in. Oh yeah, I'm sure that is pure D crap. Pretty sure. Speaking of pure D crap, I'm just gonna bring something up. So the other day I'm on my way to work and I'm driving by a McDonald's, not into McDonald's, but driving by. There's a McDonald's semi parked out front. You guys, on the side of the semi is a picture that has lettuce growing out of the ground, pretty green, like bib lettuce or whatever, a healthy lettuce. It wasn't iceberg. And it says, from green to legendary. So you go from lettuce to this double-decker Big Mac. And I'm like, what? What the H does that mean? I mean, at first I thought it was like a synthetic beef ad or something like that. I don't know. But I'm like, how are we going from green, beautiful lettuce to a Big Mac? I mean, I don't know. I had to bring that up. But again, you know, people are so deceived, and it's just sad. It's sad that people eat that kind of stuff and actually think they're eating food and that somehow it's nutritious, and then they got a semi like that making people think somehow there's green lettuce in their Big Mac, which I know McDonald's is supposedly going green, but it's not in the sense of healthy, okay? It's in the sense of, I think, from an environmental standpoint, I don't even know what they're doing. And to be honest with you, I don't care. But it just, your Smoothie King story reminded me of that. Awesome. Beets are so amazing. They are wonderful roasted too. If you've ever had roasted beets, I love them juiced. They're also high in iron, and I've had problems in my life before with low iron. It's kind of a hereditary thing. And because I don't eat meat, that's one of the reasons I do beets, because they're high in iron, and I do love the flavor. Oh, the brownie recipe. Gotcha. Yes, I will send you the brownie recipe. I will send you the brownie recipe. It's amazing. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off of here and finish my juice, warm up my apple pie, and then I'm going to go to bed. I don't know about y'all. All right. Thanks for being on here with me. Love you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will talk soon. Maybe post some juicing recipes. That is a great idea. I was going to get on my website today and do that, Ron, and I didn't have time. But I will work on that tomorrow. Maybe first thing in the morning. I'm going to keep my grandbaby part of the day tomorrow, but first thing in the morning, I have some time. So, all right. Well, you guys have a great night. Love you, and we will talk soon.